Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading because today is this conjunction between Venus and Pluto in Aquarius. So, if a few days ago we had Mars in conjunction with Pluto, today is the turn for Venus make the same conjunction to Pluto in the beginning, or should I say, the 0 degree of Aquarius. So, that is really relevant. And so, because it is a collective reading, before I go any further into the reading, let me introduce my deck. So, because it's a collective reading, I'm doing this reading with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. There is one card from the astrological oracle deck, and also the card at the bottom of the deck is from the oracle, the astrological oracle. So, and it is already speaking to me, and it's beautiful because it's almost like tying the three bottom cards in a way that I have never seen, and it feels very powerful for the collective at this time. But before that, there is, in the beginning of this message for the collective, there is this very beautiful and innocent waiting for a wish to be delivered at your doorstep. And I feel like you wish, or we as a human collective, we wish that things could go faster. The Six of Pentacles, sometimes I see this as a train track going in a certain pace, not too slow, not too fast. But for some reason, this card came through when I was thinking about two words, clean and fast. And so maybe it was my own unconscious asking, or just like wondering if this message would be as clear, as clean, as something that would come in very fast. And as soon as I saw this card, it was kind of like corrected to me that fast is not always clear, right? So what this is talking about is that what is being delivered right now, which is a wish of ours as a collective with the Nine of Cups, it actually has, it's like the train is going to travel in the speed that it has to. It's not in our control. It's almost like it has a different driver or a different guide, right? And the Nine of Cups is talking about this wish coming to fruition, this wish that now is being delivered at our doorstep. This tower is talking about home, but because this was feeling like the path that the train needs to go. Just a second. Sorry about that. I thought I heard something. But anyways, so going back to the speed of this train, it's like the movement or the pace in which this train is traveling is way beyond our control, right? It's almost like we don't have access to the pilot's cabin or the front of the train. It's like we are in the middle of it, and it's almost like we are holding, in a sense, in our own hearts this wish for humanity, for the collective. But it's almost like we wish that things would come to fruition faster, right? And there is this intense and very clear message of, no, we cannot rush things, because if this is like this biggest dream of like us as a collective, it's like it needs to be perfectly delivered in the perfect time at our doorstep. It's not something that we're going to have to make an effort for. It's almost like the only effort, in a sense, is to be patient, to wait for it to be delivered at our doorstep. So the tower has nothing to do with the traditional meaning. It's only talking about waiting inside. It's like it's best for us to wait inside, because it's like we are already in the train, right? It's almost like we are in the middle of the train, and we haven't realized that we are already the fruition of our dreams, of our wishes. It's like we are what we wanted, right? So it's like it's better to stay inside, because when this wish comes to fruition, it's almost like it's us coming home, right? This was also in the other collective, or one of the recent readings. Perhaps it was the Pisces reading that was the day after the collective. So yeah, it was talking about the coming back home, coming back to our own hearts. And it's like this collective realization that we are what we dream of. We are this fruition of this wish, the manifestation of this desire, right? But it's like, it's not until we get to where we consider like this home that we understand that we are it, that we are this Nine of Cups, right? We are the realization of what we want. So there is no need to rush into this. And the fascinating thing, this Page of Swords coming after the Tower is showing me this very excited, very thrilled, very agitated kid. It's like the morning of Christmas, right? It's like they are excited. They cannot wait any longer to open the gifts, to open the present, because it's like they have been patiently waiting for the gift to be delivered at the doorstep, right? So they are here inside. They haven't ventured out. It's almost like they know that there are recommendations or suggestions or this guidance of staying in, right? Staying inside at this moment in time is the best, so that we can receive the best gift, right? It's almost like, don't go rushing into the post office to receive your package. It's like, it is going to be delivered to your doorstep. It is going to reach you. And it's like, it's okay to be excited where you are. It's almost like nourish that feeling, because it's like this curiosity. It's that, it's not anxiety, but it's like that good feeling of expecting something, because you know that it's going to be like, you know, a dream come true. It's going to be exactly what we wanted. So we're here, you know, acting as kids in a sense, just waiting for a present to arrive, right? Because we know that how meaningful this is, right? But we don't have the realization, and that's where I feel like it's this it's almost like this point of this turning point. That's the word that I was looking for. It's the turning point in our own awareness that what we expect to receive might be something that is way bigger than we imagined, right? Because it's almost like here, it's almost like in a list of, you know, the best wishes, the best dreams. It's like maybe we don't realize that what we're going to actually receive in due time, because this train is moving in the pace that it has to. It's like, it's much better because it's ourselves. And let me show you why I'm saying that. This Strength card is coming here, and it's fascinating because, you know, the Tower has been figuring a lot in the recent readings, and so is the Strength card. The Strength is coming up, well, in the Aries reading, I believe. I think it was in the extended, I can't remember exactly, but it was coming through as this predator, the intimidating figure, right? That it wasn't supposed to be intimidating, it wasn't supposed to be feared, but that was the Aries perception at first, right? So it wanted to rewrite that perception. In this case, for the collective reading today, this Strength is just talking about this higher self's version of this kid, right? Or this, it's like this level of infancy that we are with our own awakening, with our own spirituality, because to me, the sword symbolizes that awakening of the mind, right? Opening of the consciousness. So there's something that, you know, it's a little bit spooky is the word that I'm receiving. It's like the moment that this package arrives, it's like we realize that we are it, because it's our version that, you know, and we think of the lion being so brave because of this beautiful alignment with the heart. And so it's almost like in our wildest dreams, we never thought that the manifestation of what we wanted would come in this form, or it would be personified in a sense by our higher self's materialization or manifestation, right? And I don't want to say that this is literally what is about to happen, but it's like in terms of opening up our consciousness, it's almost like a kid getting to know their mentor, right? But their mentor is almost like this higher octave of themselves. So it's almost like a future version of this one, right? So it's like, you know, a young kid just getting to know their future self, like that is, you know, coming from the future to greet them, to give them what is being wished, right? It's like wish granted, but who's delivering it? Because it's like, this is the wish being granted, right? It's like the arrival of this one. So it's kind of like this mind-boggling moment where the one who is receiving, which seems to be us, the collective, you know, showing up as the page, it's like we cannot comprehend the size of this, but there is something that makes sense, because it's almost like this, I don't want to say instantaneous, but it feels a little bit like that. It's like this immediate recognition, right? At least the sense of familiarity, because typically I see the Strength card as like, it's like looking very intensely, staring almost into the soul, right, of somebody, because it's like, it's not shying away, it's very focused in this one. And it's almost like it communicates telepathically, because it's like the mouth is shut, but the eyes are, even though they're small here, it's like, for me, just the symbolism of this card is like, you know, it's like a lion or like this great creature just looking into your soul through your eyes, right? So it feels very intense, right? Yes, intimidating in a way, but for this one, it's almost like this is exciting, right? Because it's showing up as a very curious kid. So it's almost like, okay, so what is this? Let me investigate this. And it's like this strange familiarity. And so here, the next card, which is from the Astrological Oracle deck, which represents Libra, was also a card that came up in the collective reading, I think. And it was talking about, you know, this other, right? So if here we have the higher self presenting, you know, as the first one to be the deliverer, right, of this present, of this gift, of this wish, this symbol of Libra is representing the other. But that, okay, so here, let me already show you the other card, because I think it's going to make more sense, even though looking like this, they don't feel that connected, but I hope I can translate this as I'm seeing this. So we have the sun, right, after this. The Libra sign is talking about the other, but at the same time, it wants to be the bond between these two edges, these two tarot cards, right? These two major arcana. You know, the Strength is connected to Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun. So both of them are connected. It's almost like they are intrinsically the same. It's kind of like this oversoul type of understanding of reality. And, you know, this is all leveling up, because it's like this knowledge that wants to be passed down to a kid. So it's almost like it needs to be broken down into steps or into stages or grades or like levels of understanding, right? Because the first one to present itself is the higher self. So this has like this close proximity to it's like to the individual's identity, right? So it's like there is this strange familiarity, this recognition, but then the Libra is pointing to the other, so it's connecting to relationships. And then the sun, even though the sun in astrology is also connected to, you know, if we think of the sun sign, it represents your essence, your light. It is that in a way, but here, the way that these two are connecting with this Libra in the middle, it's almost like self and the other self. Let me see if I can explain this. It's almost like there are it's not like they're twins, but it's almost like double the energy of self, right? It's almost like here it's the human version of a being, right? A very youthful, a very young, maybe very interested and curious young representation and manifestation and expression of a being, right? In human form. And then all of this is talking about the other levels of the same being, right? So if we think of this as in like, you know, a reading for the collective, it's almost like the collective is one organism or one oversoul, however you want to think of this, as, you know, not split, but manifested or expressed through many different individuals, that once they recognize their own higher selves and the other higher selves, it's like that's what is going to facilitate the understanding that it's actually one huge umbrella, right? It's like one huge being. This is just talking about like this luminous being. It's huge, right? It's like, it's almost like it doesn't have a body, a face, a name. It's like it's just energy, right? It's like this is the energetic being, consciousness of how it expresses as the others, as, you know, your own higher self, and then you as this human self, right? And so to tie in these three cards, the card that I was talking about that was in the bottom of the deck, let me get close because it's easier to see. So this is a card that represents a constellation that is called the Orions Belt, or the Three Sisters, because there is this perfect alignment of three stars in the center of, you know, the Orion's Belt. So these three stars are just representing each one of these three cards. So it's almost like there is this perfect alignment, right, between the higher self, the other, which could be, you know, another, an actual, like, you know, not other being because it's one being, but it's like recognized as another in another body, right? It's like relationships, connections, but it's also connecting this to this, right? It's like the bridge, because it's just looking like this, maybe that's word, magnet. It's wanting to, it's interesting. It's wanting to magnetize. It's wanting to just bring both of these entities, right, which are like different expressions of the same being, one as just pure light and the other as a personality, or as like having a little bit more face, like human, not human, but like recognizable traits and characteristics, right? Something that we can give a name to. I don't know if I'm explaining this in the way that it deserves, but it's like three expressions of the same thing, right? It's like they are lining up perfectly. So this is a reason why there is no reason and no need to be concerned about the speed in which this is moving, because it is going in exactly the perfect pace so that the kid can receive the gift right on the doorstep, right? As our collective, it's like this human collective is ready to receive this delivery, because it's like it goes in phases. It's almost like there are three moments, right? Maybe we're talking about like each of these conjunctions that are lining up. Maybe we're talking about the eclipses that are going to happen in Aries and Libra further down a few months from now. So, you know, there is this understanding that we are able to comprehend all of this, but it needs to be in layers so that when we do get to the third level, it all lines up. I hope that makes sense. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.